Hello, I'm an IntenseRed HeadGamer, and today I'm doing a seriously serious about seriousness video for the Flat Earth Society. I've never wanted to die more than now. So I found a couple videos where these people make these extraordinarily outlandish claims, making the most bold suggestions and bullshit remarks about how they have researched and done so much stuff to figure out and come to the conclusion that the Earth is flat, which makes me just want to fucking cry. These people exist. They fucking exist in real life. In today's modern world, people think the fucking Earth is flat. What? I don't know what to say. I have no words. It's not fucking hard to determine that the Earth is a fucking sphere. You know why they use crow's nests, right, on ships back in the day? They would do that because the higher you are on a globe, the further you can see. If the world was flat, I'd be able to see to fucking San Francisco if the line of sight was clear enough. And I'm like 3.5 hours from there. Because there's no curve to prevent any vision. That is how a flat Earth would work. I can't see San Francisco. Already, your theory is bullshit. It's already gone. Out the window, never to be seen again. This is just the intro to the video, that's the crazy part. We're gonna start the video. Just keep in mind, these people exist.
You'll want to remember this moment as the last time you thought the flat Earth was stupid.
I want to die. Now the first thing that fucking flashes in front of your face is the ultimate ignorance is the rejection of something you know nothing about, yet refuse to investigate, by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Not all the news is real. It doesn't have to be real. You have to be caught up with current events. You have to keep an eye on scientific knowledge. You can't just go off of what the internet says, you ignorant fuck!
Hello everyone, this is ODD.
I already hate this person's voice. Just putting that out there. It's like 31 seconds. 31 seconds into the video. I am already irritated by this guy's voice. Just gonna say that real quick. Let's continue.
And yes, I'm finally admitting that even though I don't like labels...
Oh, you don't like labels? I'm so sorry. Get out of America. You don't belong here.
I'm a flat earther. Based on my research for the past 10 months, our world is very different from the model that we are being taught by the authority on the matter.
What fucking authority are you referring to? There is no authority that dictates how we're supposed to view the world. You can view it on your own. If you fly from Iowa to California at sunset, you will arrive at sunset because you're constantly chasing the fucking sun. I just don't understand why this is hard to grasp. The reason I know that is because I've done that. My grandpa lived in Iowa, and we flew there all the time. We would, like, take off at 2 p.m. and land at 2 p.m. It was fucking hilarious every time.
It took me a while to come to terms with this.
There's probably a reason for that.
And it took even longer to gain the courage to talk about it.
It can be pretty embarrassing to admit you're a flat earther. For multiple reasons.
We blindly believe something that A, has never been proven, and B, is pretty much fucking impossible.
Like, I didn't make this video. It's not a prank. The link's in the description. Impossible? Impossible.
Thanks to people like Eric Dubay, the flat earth has re-emerged and it has more steam than ever.
Because the idea of a flat earth is powered by steam, much like all outdated technology.
Before I've ever even entertained the flat Earth, I knew not to trust the space programs of the world. Close examinations of NASA and other space programs reveal that things aren't what they seem and that we, the people, are being lied to.
Close examinations of NASA? NASA's not an object, dipshit. Close examinations of NASA's findings. Even if that statement was true, fucking what? You're telling me they are deliberately trying to fool us, and by they I'm talking about the government, who we elected.
We have no real pictures of the Earth, and no matter how hard we try, we just can't find the curvature. Not only that, but flight paths make more sense on a flat map, and large bodies of water not being able to curve into a giant ball completely resonates.
I don't understand, like, how do I even deal with these people? They're so dumb. They're broken. They're broken people. Gravity pushes the water into us. What's wrong with you? What is fucking wrong with you?
The globe model is so very unlikely that any good detective wouldn't believe a fucking word the globe says.
The globe doesn't say anything. It's a globe. A detective would never waste his fucking time on this, because a detective has at least earned his credentials.
The globe story is so full of circumstantial, impossible coincidences, which only prove that the globe is a fucking liar.
The globe is a fucking liar. Don't believe the word the globe says. It has stolen your child.
We'll be going over that in this video, as well as other reasons why the world isn't what we're led to believe.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Our daily observations of the Earth are consistent with a flat and stationary surface. Most, if not all, ancient civilizations knew that the Earth was flat.
Thought. Believed. We're not sure if. Go ahead and replace what you said with any of those suggestions, and we can move on.
The people of today would say that ancient cultures were ignorant and unaware.
Ancient? What the fuck is an ancient culture?
Ancient
culture.
This is a pretty high production value video, that I can tell, which is one of the reasons I'm covering it. It's because people spent money on this shit. If this is so high production value, you just looked at that take and were like, yeah, that sounds good. Ancient.
Yet they accomplished great feats that we still can't accomplish to this day.
Why would we? Have you ever seen Dubai? Egyptians could not do that shit. We could build a fucking pyramid in like 5 seconds, but we don't need to because pyramids are fucking stupid. Why the fuck would we need a pyramid? It's a fucking pyramid. The only pyramid I know of that's interesting is made of glass, and it's in Vegas. It shoots a light out of the top. Your fucking Egyptian bullshit doesn't do that. It was thought at construction the Great Pyramid was originally 280 Egyptian cubits tall, 480 feet, but with erosion and height is 455 feet. So mainly, the biggest pyramid that is the most famous is about as tall as the biggest roller coaster in the entire world, King Ka. Stuff we can't even replicate. We can make rides the size of that fucking thing.
The truth is that they had real knowledge, and some of us only have an education.
Oh god, I felt like my heart stopped and then went back. Was like, no, we can't die right now. Oh god, that hurt so bad. They had real knowledge as opposed to fake knowledge.
Education is when you are told what to think and how to think.
Incorrect, sir. No. We are 3 minutes into the video. You have not introduced any guests or topographical evidence, and you are already digging a hole. This is not going well for you. Let me tell you, oh boy. Okay.
Those that are able to remember and regurgitate what they've been told on command are considered well educated.
Regurgitate? You don't even know what you're talking about, do you? You're just some grad student that probably majored in film technology or whatever, and made this video. My God. You can't regurgitate knowledge. Here's the definition of regurgitate.
It wasn't a question for the average person anymore. Though at the time the shape of the Earth was still up to be proven, NASA claims that they went to the moon and captured a shot of the spherical Earth as if they always knew it was indeed spherical.
That's not the main reason we went up there, dude. That's not the reason we went up there. This man needs to die.
Those of you who think this technical difficulty was planned and think I'm scamming you, go do it for yourself. Because you're going to find the exact same thing. I got nothing to hide here. I'm going to zoom in on the Earth in Photoshop, image, adjust, levels, and I'm going to bring the levels over here. And I'm going to bring the levels up. Uh-oh. What is that? Why is there a square box around the Earth allegedly taken from the scientists on the moon in Apollo 17?
So here's the level system thing from Photoshop, and as you can tell, all he's doing is fucking the colors up so that way any of the excess bright light on the screen gets eviscerated. That's why it looks like a box, because you're zoomed in like 10 fucking times to where any light that gets pixelated becomes blocks. You made the box. You. No one else. This took 6 minutes out of my time. 5 minutes. I started looking for this fucking page at 5:45. Took 5 minutes. Granted, that's actually kind of a long time to find something, but it's fucking worth it to just prove your...
We've been taught that we're on a ball spinning around the sun, and so to hear that you might be on a flat plane, motionless at the center of the universe with all the celestial bodies spinning around you, just as it appears, actually comes as a surprise. But it shouldn't, because our eyes, experience, and common sense all tell us that the horizon is perfectly flat.
Alright, so you're saying our eyes are trustworthy. Okay, let's go ahead and do something real quick. Here is a picture. I want you to tell me, which one do you think is brighter? Wrong! They're both the same fucking color. Look, if I put something in the middle, suddenly they become the same color. Because your eyes have learned to trust shadows, you dip fuck. Your brain is tricked and manipulated like that. Because we're so smart and advanced now, we're able to find out shit about our own planet, our own brain, and our own solar system. I disproved your theory like that! And I'm a retard!
And we feel motionless. We don't hear ourselves whizzing by at thousands of miles per hour.
We have an atmosphere! We were born at the same speed. We evolved at the same speed. We've never slowed down. I want to kill all of you!
No matter how high amateur rockets or balloons have gone up, the horizon rises to the eye of the observer all the way up. And that's only consistent with a flat plane.
Wrong!
So yeah, it began with the spinning Earth going 1,000 miles per hour, which is then circling around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour.
Which then they decided the sun wasn't a heliocentric model, but more of an acentric model, where they don't know where the center is, and we're just exploding out of a big bang. So the sun, we're spinning around the sun, and then the sun and us are spinning around the Milky Way galaxy, they say, at 500,000 miles per hour. And then the entire Milky Way galaxy, they say, is shooting off from the Big Bang at 670 million miles per hour, almost the speed of light. So there's at least 4 rip-raging, contradictory motions supposedly going at all times.
Yet you don't experience any of it, nor can you measure any of it using the stars. Look into it more and more, make it a thing to try and debunk it, if you will. You know, even if you want to do it that way. Negative reinforcement works too.
I hate you! Then all the people who have dedicated their lives, decades of research, are just lollygagging.
Try as you will, you're only going to find proofs for the flat, motionless Earth. You're not going to confirm that you're on a spinning ball.
The curvature of the Earth eludes us. Either the Earth is much larger in circumference than we are told, or the curve just doesn't exist.
The Earth is fucking massive. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? You seem to think that the Earth is like the same size as the moon, or even smaller. You probably have no fucking idea just how big the universe is. It's unfathomable. The world is barely fathomable. Especially to you.
People assume that there is a curve, but it's never really been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Cameras with fisheye lenses, Hollywood movies, and NASA CGI are the closest we get to seeing curvature.
Also HD cameras, but go on.
The deception and the lies are just so pervasive, and they're just so deep that I swear it gives me a headache.
Oh, you want to talk about headaches? Oh boy, don't get me started.
The surface of water is always level. This is just natural physics. We know this, that water, if unobstructed and uncontained, will flow outwards, finding it the easiest course to maintain its own level, right? So, but the Ball Earth model claims that the oceans are huge 100-mile walls of curved water curving around the ball. That's ridiculous. They say that gravity makes this possible, but you don't see that.
So there's the pretty blue marble that NASA claims we are living on, with circumference of 24,901 and 3959 radius. So to find the curvature, you take 8 inches times your distance squared. That's 8 inches times your distance squared, and if you don't square the distance, you end up with this, and this is not what NASA has shown us. They have given us a beautiful blue marble that we love.
Let's take a look at how to calculate the area of a shape. So let's take a basic shape to start with.
What I did is I shot this pier, which is in Daytona Beach, Florida, and as you can see, between the water and the walkway of the pier is about 12 to 16 feet based on the height of the people and the railing. So I started at Granada, which is 4.92 miles away, and I shot this. And based on that distance and the formula, there should be 16 feet of curvature.
Do you have any understanding of how big the world really is? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe I did the math wrong?
In addition to that, behind that pier is actually a lighthouse, which you can see that is 16 miles away from my location. Now that lighthouse is 175 feet tall, and the curvature from 16 miles away should be 170 feet.
Just shoot yourself. Just fucking shoot. Do it! Do it!
No, not one picture of the Earth. Imagine that.
Easy fucking shit to do. You have a computer with internet. Do it. Fucking do it. Do it. Do it. Look it up. Research.
2016, and we still don't have a picture of our home.
I can almost guarantee you, half of the people who believe in the Flat Earth Society or whatever the fuck, they don't actually do the math themselves. They look it up. Because if they did the math themselves right, they'd probably find, oh, how interesting. I'm an idiot.
Thousands of satellites supposedly orbiting the Earth. Why can't we get thousands of pictures? Hell, we should have a channel on cable that shows the Earth rotating 24 hours a day.
Dude, the only reason we would ever have anything like that is to prove it to people like you, which is fucking pointless because you're not even willing to accept any new information.
For the past 500 years, we've been completely buying into the Copernicus heliocentric model, but what we do know about the flat Earth is based on the azimuthal equidistant map that seems to be working out.
I can promise you he's never going to explain what azimuthal or equidistant means. Neither am I.
This map goes as far back as the year 1000 and possibly earlier.
Ah, proof. Guaranteed it's been around forever. Undeniable!
Now used as an official map by the U.S. Geological Survey and also as the official logo for the United Nations. Is this our real home being hidden from us in plain sight? I think it is.
I'm almost positive you believe there are wizard men running the government. I am convinced at this point that you will believe nearly anything. I could sell you magic beans. I could sell you some magic beans. Like you're fucking Dwight Schrute from The Office.
The first thing a lot of people say is, where's the edge?
I can promise you that's not the first thing that people say. I'm almost confident the first thing people say is, do you need a CAT scan?
Well, look at this map where Antarctica is a 360-degree ice barrier that holds the water in.
Ah, yes. The 360-degree ice barrier. So what does this have to do with anything?
These ice walls are real, and they stand 150 feet above the surface of the water.
Whoa! Whoa! Excuse me, sir. Evidence.
Then you need to understand...
No. Hold on. Evidence.
There is no independent access to Antarctica.
Sir, you don't understand. Evidence is needed here.
Average people can only go there on a guided tour.
Sir! I don't know how to break this to you, but you can't follow through with this argument if it has no evidence. How do you know the ice walls exist? You just told yourself and the entire internet that there's no independent access. How do you even know they're real?
It has no towns, no cities,
and no ice walls that are 150 feet tall. We're done. We're done with that. We're done with the joke. Oh my god.
What's past the 150-foot ice wall is anyone's guess.
I thought we were done with this. Sir! I'm going to flip my shit right now.
How far the ice extends.
Shut up! I don't know if you could tell, but I've taken a break. I took a break from making this video. It took something out of me, man. I went and calmed down. Got a smart water. Maybe I should pour some on my computer. Obviously, it's infected with this guy's stupidity. This water doesn't make you smarter. That's so stupid. Honestly, that might be the worst joke I've made ever. Fucking headphone case.
The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959 by 12 nations and more later on, states that Antarctica is for peaceful purposes only.
Holy shit. Is that real? Is that Antarctic Treaty? I don't want to take the time to look that up, but if that's real, that's awesome.
No military activities, just scientific research and government exploration. Expeditions by any party must be discussed in advance. It's the longest and most successful treaty between nations.
Are you kidding me? That is so sick. It's just some treaty that's been working for decades? That's awesome.
The treaty also states that there are ships, stations, and equipment to ensure compliance of the treaty. Sounds like military activity to me.
How fucking dare you? You're not even gonna acknowledge that that's one of the biggest human success stories of all time? The treaty has been just existent. We're peaceful there. And we have people there to ensure compliance of the treaty so that way peace is always kept in Antarctica. And you're like, that sounds like a threat! Guns and shit!
So this azimuthal equidistant map appears to be correct for the most part.
It's correct based on no evidence. Do I need to go back to this?
These ice walls are real.
I mean, that's a strike on his board, not mine. So, oh well.
Over the centuries, there's been other maps that look pretty close to it as well.
Oh boy. Replicas of stuff.
Let's look at an interesting story that was recently in the news that supports this flat map.
Oh yes, let's look at one piece of the news. One. No others. No, it's just fucking... Does anyone have an anal probe? I have a use for it, and it involves this man in a torture chamber.
A woman gave birth on a flight from Bali to Los Angeles, so the flight made an emergency landing in Alaska.
I just thought, what if he's a masochist, and it won't really mean anything?
Here's what it would look like on a globe.
Okay.
Now, here's what it would look like on a flat Earth. Which one makes more sense?
I really don't think he presented enough evidence to conclude a, logical statement on that one. He just kind of showed two examples of how it could be happening. And we're like, alright, now given that information, and no other information whatsoever. Shall we make a executive decision on the matter?
Exactly.
What do you mean exactly? No one agreed with you.
A big issue I was having with the flat
What the fuck is this? Looks like it's coming at you, doesn't it? No, it does not.
A big issue I was having with the flat Earth for the longest time was the sunrise and sunsets.
Really, you had problems with sunrise and sunset. Cavemen didn't have problems with this.
I realized that it was a perspective issue.
Go on.
First, you must understand that the sun is not 93 million miles away.
Evidence, sir! Why am I asking for evidence? He's not gonna present it. I'm just gonna say evidence whenever he gives some argument about how he believes something with no evidence. I'm just gonna say evidence, and that's gonna be my response.
If it was, we would never see anything like this here.
You're misunderstanding science, and that doesn't mean that everyone else is wrong, okay? So maybe you could go back to your home, kill yourself and your family, and once you get to whatever deity you believe in, if there is one, you can ask them why they made you so stupid, get reincarnated due to good behavior, or I don't know how your religion works. Hopefully, when you come back, explain to everybody that you have doomed us all by being so stupid. I don't know how that would resolve this issue, but I was just trying to think of something that would make me happy, because I'm very sad now.
This is concentrated because it's closer.
Evidence.
It's much more probable that the sun is only a few thousand miles away and that it's the same size as the moon.
Evidence and misunderstanding of science.
Once you comprehend this, all of the sudden, solar eclipses make sense.
That did not assist my comprehension of anything. In fact, I think I may have lost a lot of brain cells during this video.
All of the sudden, solar eclipses make sense.
Holy fucking shit! Something that makes sense!
He got so loud. He's like so upset. Oh gosh. Oh, why does that sound familiar?
So the sun is close, which gives it the ability to spotlight the area that it's over.
Okay, first of all, it doesn't spotlight jack shit. It illuminates an entire side of the planet as the Earth spins. That's why when you go from left to right on what we understand to be left to right, looking at the globe from a vertical angle, then you're most likely going to either go towards the sun or away from the sun, because we're spinning. Like my explanation earlier about traveling from Iowa. You need to give the evidence, and I need to comprehend it. You don't comprehend science, and you don't give evidence, so this video is pretty much just me making fun of you, which is a blast.
And when it leaves your view, due to perspective, it takes the light with it.
Okay, honestly, that is the exact same thing as me going up to a kid and going, "Hey kid, did you know that when you turn off lights, it gets dark?"
There is a generous amount of light where the sun is at, but since it's so close, it doesn't spread its light like it would if it were bigger and further.
You mean like how Alaska has nightless days? How does it not spread its light? Evidence, sir!
The sun circumnavigates the Earth like a huge clockwork.
Okay, technically the Earth circumnavigates the sun. Dude, quit using big words as if you are smart. You think there's 150-foot ice walls in Antarctica. You think that is Antarctica. That's what you think it is. And I really don't know what to say to that.
The sun circumnavigates the Earth like a huge clockwork. Sometimes that takes a while to sink in.
Really? Not the fact that we may be living on a fucking saucer? How? Out of all things, the world going around the sun, in reality, or the sun going around the world like a clock, is the hardest thing for you to comprehend? Are you brain dead? I'm pretty sure even cavemen knew this, sir. They knew when you wake up, it is a time, and that is how we started developing the understanding of time, by requiring a schedule. Because the more busy things get, the more understanding we have of the world, and the more we need to plan things out. That's one of the reasons that everything moves so fast nowadays, like cell phones and fast food service, because there's so many people in the world that the more people that come, the more money you need to make to provide for said people via taxes and governmental funding. And this is all known by the persons of the world. Fucking die.
Alright, let's talk about the Coriolis effect.
Oh my gosh, the Coriolis effect. How could I have forgotten about this crucial piece of information?
The Coriolis effect states that when a moving object leaves the ground, the Earth continues to rotate.
Relevant at all?
Meaning that when shooting a gun at a certain distance, the bullet would be a little off due to the Earth's rotation.
Pretty sure you need to be really fucking far for this to happen, by the way. Like, I've only heard this happening to sniper rifles, shooting at like 1,000 something yards, which is stupid far. Just thought I'd throw that in there. I'm not debunking anything, I'm just saying. I've only heard it happening to snipers. I don't know much about guns.
If that's the case, then airplanes would have to account for the Coriolis effect, but they don't.
Excuse me? Fucking excuse me, sir?
Do you need a...
No. Can we go back to the whole airplane thing? Please tell me you're gonna get back to this. He goes back to it, by the way. I just thought I'd let you know. That's why I'm stopping this part of the argument that I'm doing. Okay, let's continue.
Do you need 100 excuses as to why you're not feeling any motion or seeing any curvature?
Yes, I do. I need hundreds of reasons to completely eviscerate and shatter my own logic and understanding of the world. I don't understand why you don't.
Or is it easier to use Occam's razor and go with what our senses are telling us? The Earth is flat and not spinning.
Okay, stop using big words and metaphors as if you're smart. You are not smart, sir. I am not smart, and I don't use those big words. There's no way you knew what Occam's razor was or meant before you made this video. I can promise you looked that up to sound smart.
Now, real quick, let's kind of just explain the Coriolis effect in layman's terms. The Coriolis effect is the effect that when the bullet leaves the barrel of the gun, it is actually leaving the surface of the Earth. So as the bullet leaves the barrel of the gun, the Earth is still rotating, and the bullet is not rotating with the Earth. So the Earth will actually rotate out from underneath of the bullet while it is in flight.
Okay, here we go. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure the Coriolis effect only affects sniper bullets. This guy's standing in front of what seems like a sniper rifle, so I mean my information's holding up. How about yours?
While it is in flight.
Oh my god, he made an entire little presentation and everything. What the fuck? He put like the Earth doesn't spin on it. Why is there a question mark on the tail? Like, the Earth does not spin? What the fuck? It's not even funny at this point. Like, I don't know what to say. What the fuck happened to the plane? Was it shot by a Predator missile? What the fuck? Why did it blow up in midair? It didn't even hit the ground.
This one is a touchy subject, but outer space is up for debate.
What the fuck do you mean it's up for debate? Under whose information are you making this conclusion? Because I know it's not yours. You're no fucking scientist.
Most astronauts are Freemasons that...
Okay, could someone explain to me why Tinkerbell is right over there? Did he take this from a Disney picture? I don't understand. So your evidence for a lot of what you say is based on pictures you got off Google or something? Why the fuck is Tinkerbell in the picture?
Most astronauts are Freemasons that have to swear an oath of secrecy when dealing with the so-called missions.
Evidence!
The thing is that there is so much footage of NASA and other space agencies making mistakes.
All of which you have not researched on your own, I'm sure.
Sometimes we could see bubbles in the spacewalks.
Okay, how the fuck can you claim that's a bubble? First of all, that's not even in English. That's like Japanese or something. That's not our own footage. What about this? How is that a bubble? That looks like a piece of paper. You ever seen scuba people? It's very clear that they're underwater. I don't know how you hide being underwater. You don't hide it at all.
Sometimes we could see harnesses and wires on the people in the International Space Station.
Oh, really? Like what? For the record, he doesn't show any video evidence of this.
The permed hair that moves nothing like it would in zero gravity.
You're not an astronaut! How do you know that?
These are huge red flags.
Oh, red flag! Get it? Get it? Because he said red flag, so he put up a red flag. I get it!
Not to mention the Van Allen radiation belt.
Oh my gosh! Just like the Coriolis effect, a crucial piece of information that no one could have ever possibly forgotten. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto!
The Van Allen radiation belt is a layer of energetic charged particles that is held in place around a magnetized planet such as Earth by the planet's magnetic field.
Nice script reading there, buddy.
Energetic charged particles that is held in place.
Sounds kinda like a dome if there is one. One of NASA's employees admitted that this radiation belt needs to be figured out before humans could pass through it.
As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Yes, he clearly admitted to what we were talking about prior. No, he didn't. He loosely mentioned it. He was talking about the Van Allen radiation belt and how we need to get through it. When he said armor shielding will be put to the test, that probably means they most likely figured it out. They're not in the business of explaining to everybody, here's the complete diagnostic of how we got into space. Build your own at home.
Let's talk about satellites. We've already discussed how there are no pictures of the Earth. So are satellites even real? Not likely.
So if satellites were real, we would constantly hear stories of them being hit by meteors or comets, and that doesn't happen. No one's ever lost their direct TV feed during the Perseids meteor shower because one of the meteors knocked out one of the satellites. Doesn't happen, it's never happened, and it won't happen. And that to me tells me there is no satellites. You would constantly be worried about them, and you would constantly hear about them having something happen, and it's so rare that you hear that.
You guys have no idea what you're talking about! Alright, I looked this up because I needed some evidence to argue against this, and it didn't take long. It took like a minute or so. Most satellites are in low Earth orbit. Very low Earth orbit. This takes seconds of time to look up. Not that long at all, man. Asteroids burn up in the atmosphere. And when they do hit satellites, these satellites are pretty fucking big, dude. And just a little side note here, who the fuck is this guy? I don't know him. You didn't even explain who he is. It's just some guy with a headset in his room. Why the fuck should I trust anything he says? I don't even know who he is. No credentials. He doesn't explain who he is at all. He just says, here's my opinion.
We have been indoctrinated, and it's as simple as that.
These ice walls are real.
For the spherical Earth to remain unproven after this long is a wake-up call to everybody that lives here.
These ice walls are real.
We need to shed this programming right here, right now, and find out what the fuck is going on.
Not one picture of the Earth.
No more embracing this sick illusion that was created by psychopaths. I'm going to keep searching for answers and trying to make something happen. All I want to know is, who's coming with me?
I am drop dead serious right now. If any of you, after all of this, are going with him on this journey of insanity, please proceed to light yourself on fire and throw yourself out of the nearest window. I don't want to live on the same planet as you.
Don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
explore, like the Great Magellan.
Oh, you're too late. There's really nothing left to explore.
Ha! Suck it, Billy. That's what you get for having dreams. So the video teeters off right there and into this, like, you know, thanks for watching ODD TV bullshit. You know, it teeters off with the fading volume of that bass track they had going the entire time that I had to reduce the volume of. In all seriousness, I really hope this guy doesn't kill himself. I don't know. I mean, all the jokes that I make, they're jokes. It's just anger and all that stuff. In reality, I just hope he educates himself somehow. I don't know how. A lot of people that I find that act like this, I really do believe they're broken. When I think of people like this, it always ends up the same way. They all end up making the same statements. They all follow the same people on the internet. They all use the internet more than they go to their jobs. And it's a cycle of, oh, I gotta believe this because someone with credentials said it. Like, I don't believe a lot of the scientists nowadays because they don't come up with decent information, but I still believe some of the other things they say because I look into the science experiments they do and I go, all right, that makes sense. You did this, you checked this out, you made sure you had a control. All right, we're good. So that makes a lot of sense. Excellent. That rat did this, and so that proves your theory and your thesis makes sense. You look into stuff before you believe it. Really, come on. There's no way you're this dumb. You gotta step up your game in the head department. Sorry, I'm still in joke mode, if you will. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate any views I get. I was about to say I appreciate this guy making the video, but I don't. Fuckface.